Here we go, Pete's Wednesday morning video. I'm in Broadmead in Bristol. Oh dear me, isn't it dead? Hardly anything left down here. Anyway, I'm off to Queen Square. So we'll add some more video in a minute. Not Broadmead like I remember as a kid. Well, I did the walk down through Broadmead and I'm in St Nick's Market now. And was it nearly 10:30 in the morning? And it's empty. Still, you can't come into town because Marvin Rees has blocked people driving across Bristol Bridge and driving down Baldwin Street, so that's it. It's killed the centre of Bristol. Never mind COVID. But there we go. And here we go, St Nicholas Street, and then we'll get across Baldwin Street to my destination. All good clean fun. Well, I thought I'd do another one of these British Telecom post office nostalgia videos, but here we go. Telephone House in Bristol. Student flats now. Oh, it was A block, B block, and if I swing round, this was D block. They got renamed. D block became Graham Bell. These two were called Spicer and Selkirk. Can't remember why they were called that, but there we go. And this is it as it used to. Well, I think not. It used to be. All this stuff on the ground floor that was a car park isn't anymore. It's in the case of this bit, it's a shop. Then there's a Malago doctor's surgery here. Obviously students that live upstairs need a doctor. Coming up on the old Duke. Now through here, the other side of the railings, behind the old Duke is the old C block of Telephone House that used to have a footbridge going across to join it to the other two. Footbridge is long gone, and as is the BT Social Club. Anyway, came past here the other day. Landogger Trow had some lights on inside, but whether it's open again I'm not sure. By the look of it I'd say not, as if it was it would be lit up now. Here's the old Duke, the jazz pub, and the smarty looking building there, that was C block of Telephone House, or Riverside as it was called. And many a happy day up on the top floor doing discos. Anyway, King Street now pedestrianised with a load of garden sheds on it. There we have it. Friday I'm in love, it says in pink above the road, so make your minds up on that one. I'm off down towards Queen Square. See you later. Right, here we go. I'm in Queen Charlotte Street now, and in front of me now, that's Queen Square. And for those in New Zealand, you'll probably recognise this building, 59 Queen Charlotte Street, Fussell Wright and Company. There's no Clem Richardson sat in the toilet with the door open with his pinstripe trousers around his ankles. Long gone are those days. Going back to the BT case, here's another ex-BT building, Queen Charlotte House. And for only Fools and Horses fans, on the left here, no, I'll rephrase that, we'll go back again. For those of you that remember Del Boy falling through the hatch. That was filmed here in the downstairs wine bar. Anyway, this is the very building. Was the old granary. It's not anymore. And if we go to the other side of the road, there is an episode of Only Fools and Horses where Rodney goes to meet his girlfriend. That was this building. They've changed the door arrangement around on it now, but there was quite a wide staircase going up the front, which is no longer there. So anyway, a bit of Bristol history. It's not very often I get to walk around town, as you probably realise. I'm usually on the bike or the push bike. Over on the left hand side, on the corner of King Street, there's the almshouses. I think most of these are private now, and I think, as you can see by the state of the paintwork on the outside, that lacking of maintenance. I suppose BT could own them. They don't do any maintenance on their buildings anymore either. Building up there with the stone pillars, that's the Bristol Old Vic. And I'm sure if you look on the internet, you can find quite a few actors that have done their acting training based here in Bristol at the Old Vic. And once again, King Street, the Old Duke. You can tell this has been let go. Even the pub sign's in a tatty state. Well, there we go. Let's head back up towards St Nick's Market again. Well, here we are on Baldwin Street. Because of the restrictions that Marvin Rees, the mayor, put into place, all you'll see going along here is push bikes, delivery vans and taxis. I think that car that's just come down there, he'll end up with a fine. Across the road, the old fish market, and this place here, O Bento, that was the Bristol Bridge Inn, and up on the upper floor, that's where many bands used to play. Long gone are those days. Call this what you like. Sceptre Tavern. Long changed name, and upstairs now again, like many buildings in town, student flats. But there you go, Brewdog it's called now. Right, on my way. Right, we're now on Bristol Bridge, which is closed to traffic. Only buses, taxis, motorcycles and cyclists are allowed across here. Should have had the camera on just now because somebody just drove across and they're going to get a fine. Coming out of Baldwin Street, that's the same. But there we go. Head across now to Castle Park. Over on the right is what was Courage's Bath Street brewery. That's now being rehashed into flats. Well, basically accommodation. And over here on the left hand side, this building was Norwich Union Insurance. It's all going to come down, and you probably just see behind, that's the Tower of St Mary le Port Church. Over there straight in front now, the funny sort of obelisk structure, inside's a set of steps, takes you down to an underground vaulted cellar. There are some videos on YouTube where people have actually managed to get and breaking in, but it's not usually open to the public. Anyhow, there you go. Over on the right, that's the former Courage's brewery, and I'll turn the camera back on a bit further on. So here we are, a bit further up, and across there, all these new flats they put in. I think it's a shame that it's been let go to rack and ruin on the lower level. Look, buddleia growing everywhere. Had some bad experiences with that stuff at home. Right, coming up on the left hand side, St Peter's Church. Well and truly bombed in 1941, and I think it's a shame they didn't restore it, but there we go. All the houses and shops and everything else that was around it, so obviously they were bombed too, and what is now Castle Park was teeming with shops, long gone. Looking across from a different angle, that tall building there with the tower crane, that will become the tallest building in Bristol. Over to the left hand side is Castlemead. That's 14 stories, and without counting, I'm pretty sure to say that that new building there on the plot that used to be the central ambulance station, I think it's 18 stories high, might be more. The new bridge they put across here, part of this development is called Finzel's Reach, and as you can see, it's a link through to cut through the old brewery site basically. So anyway, onward, let's head back towards Cabot Circus. A bit further up again, and we're now looking straight across the bridge. The first one is Passage Street, and the one at the very far side is on Temple Way. Now the first bridge there was bombed in the war. Now across that bridge went all the mains electricity cables that fed the Bristol tramways. Once the bridge had gone, that was it. The trams were in decline anyway, but it was the death knell basically, that bridge going. So this is all that remains, and like I said, the other side over there, that's the new flats they've been building, and we may get to see, if we get the right angle, the actual old power station for the tramways. Anyway, and as you'll see over there, like a lot of the other parts in the centre of town, it's all coned off with those red and white plastic things. Town is dead. People are shopping elsewhere, but after walking through Cabot Circus and the galleries this morning, it doesn't surprise me when I hear that the galleries is going to be partly converted into accommodation. Right, well, just before the bridge on the right hand side up there, the building with the arched windows, that was the power station for the Bristol tramways. The other side of that bridge, those red brick buildings with the creamy coloured one at the end, that was the Bristol Corporation power department generating station, which closed, I think, probably in the 50s. And the shot tower there, where they used to make lead shot, Sheldon Bushing Company, which originally started in Redcliffe Hill, where somebody extended his house upward and dug into the cellar, and that's where the shot making process was invented, I understand. But there we go, and there's that horrendous new building. I don't know whether there's going to be any affordable housing there, but judging by the prices of everything here in town, I wouldn't have thought so. What do you call that? Somebody own beep beep. Taxi driver don't want to play games. Anyway, Broadweir this is. That building there is sort of oval shaped if you look down on it, and that is basically the back end of Harvey Nichols. All this here used to be shops, sort of flats now, and there a bit further up is the Gallery Shopping Centre. They did rename it for a short while, called it the Mall, which totally confused everybody, because you had the Mallet Cribs Causeway up by the M5 up north of Bristol. Anyway, this as you can see, another road that is very quiet, because you get to the end of this road and you're stuffed. You've got to turn right down over Union Street. If you carry straight on, you can't go across Bristol Bridge, and you can't turn right into Baldwin Street where we were earlier on. I haven't mentioned scooters yet, but you'll see over there there's a gaggle of them just beyond the trees, and there's the bridge going across from Castle Park into the Galleries shopping centre. I mentioned just now there are plans apparently to turn part of the galleries into accommodation, so it doesn't surprise me. Half the place is empty anyway. And as we swing round and look straight down through, that's Merchant Street, and at the very far end is Debenhams, sadly now closed. When it opened in 1950 odd, it was Jones's department store, and I can remember being taken in there on a Saturday morning, and that's where I bought my first record, I Feel Fine by the Beatles. There we are, probably got it home somewhere. Right, onward we go. Right, here we go, Merchant Street now. There's the galleries, and very odd, very quiet. Not a lot going on. Coming up over here on the left, the old building, before all this was changed, that was Lloyd's Bank. They turned it into a cafe, restaurant and what have you, when the galleries was erected. Wouldn't put it past them to pull the galleries down. I know I said about housing there, but there we are. And up through there, Quakers Friars, part of the Cabot Circus development, and I don't think they like people using cameras. They're treating it like a private estate now. For many of you older people, as old as me and beyond, will remember when this was a roundabout. So we're now in the middle of Broadmead and Merchant Street, and I can hear daughter ringing me. Better answer the phone, hadn't I? So where we are, Merchant Street, junction of Broadmead. If you need NatWest, they've moved. Curry's and Dixon's, that was years ago, not anymore. Over there was Bartley's, and over there was some noise about to start. Here's the next bit of Pete's down Broadmead video. And what have we got here today? Oh dear. We've got it all. We've even got Spider-Man. Morning, Spider-Man, how are you? Love it. Here we go, see? It all happens in Bristol. Anyway, a few more back in Broadmead now, you see? There's a few more out. And we're heading back to Cabot Circus to the car park. Say hello, Vic. There we go. Nice to be out shopping with your daughter, isn't it? Right, off we go. Let's get to the car. So here we go, still in Broadmead. Back at the junction of Merchant Street. That used to be the roundabout, and everybody's out in the sunshine. And that's the noise that started earlier on when I was sat down. Well, that's three sides of this square now were banks. Metro Bank, NatWest, Barclays there, and just leaves Vodafone. Will that become a bank, I wonder? Well, there we go. We just walked through Cabot Circus. I didn't bother filming in there because the security people get a bit funny, even though we're not in any shops. But there we go. This used to be called Temple Way. It's not anymore. They call it Bond Street South. And there's the Cabot Circus Hotel. It's roughly near enough where Broadweir swimming baths used to be. And we got the Green Man. When we were having the bathroom done, we stayed here for a night. Come on, go. If you're ever cold and you want to stay warm in a sleeping bag, just here on the right, lie down next to these vents because all the hot air comes out. Right, this is now called Champion Square. Years ago, one half was Wellington Road, the other was River Street. But now they did away with half of it. Coming up on the left, the Phoenix. One for Mervyn Reeves. What do you think, Merv? I don't think it's open yet. But certainly different, and they certainly don't sell draft bass. There I am, look. And all I'll say is, like the Stella advert, reassuringly expensive. That's it for me. And just interestingly, I'll leave you with this thought. Somebody has altered the road sign. Night night, see you soon. Well, here we are, the end of my trip today. It's been a bit busy. Been out with my daughter, and here we are back at the bus stop in St Anne's Road. There we are. They haven't cut the grass up here lately, but I remember these trees when they planted them, they weren't much more than the size of my arm. But I see the end point of the green here hasn't been cut. Perhaps it's done for I don't know, green reasons. You can't do much about this. I mean, it's 1 minute it's slow traffic, next minute it's fast stuff. But there we go. Let's cross. I'm not fully convinced that the traffic light situation here has been set up properly. As you can probably see over there, there's a queue of traffic coming down Arlington Road. He wasn't sure whether he was going to pull out or not, but that's another story. Anyhow, that's it. Pete's afternoon out, and I'm going home to have some tea. It's now 6 o'clock in the evening, and here it is, queued, even this time of night. Night night.